name is Kelly Hayes, and I'm your registered dietitian. Are you Armando?
Yes.
Great. Well, it's really nice to meet you, Armando. Could you just verify your date of birth really fast?
1587.
Awesome. So thank you so much. We're just going to do a quick little overview of what we're going to be covering in today's appointment. So first we're going to do a physical assessment, and then we'll do a diet recall of what you typically eat in a day. Then we're just going to discuss what we can do to make your life easier through this whole process, and then just give you plenty of time to ask questions, express your concerns, and just set some goals for the future. Does that all sound good to you?
Yeah, sounds good.
Great. All right, so we're going to get started with the physical assessment next, and that is going to require me to touch you. I just wanted to verify that's okay.
That's okay.
Okay, great. All right, well, we're just going to go ahead and get started with your physical assessment. The first thing I'm going to do is take your temperature, so if you could just put this in your mouth under your tongue and hold it there. And while you do that, I'm just going to take your pulse. Put it in there.
What?
Okay, put it in there.
What? Is it clean?
Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, this looks like 98.2, and your pulse, let me just multiply that, is 70. All right, so next we're going to take your blood pressure. All right. Okay. And just air it up a little bit so it'll stay on. Here. You can just rest your arm on mine like that. Okay, great. 136. Ooh. 136 over 73. All right, and the last thing we'll do is a pulse ox, and we'll just need your finger for this one. You can just rest your finger down like that. Okay, your blood oxygen is 98, and your heart rate is 71. All right, thank you so much, Armando. So that is the end of the physical assessment. Okay, so next we're just going to do a diet recall, and I want you to just tell me the foods that you typically eat in a day. So what do you typically eat for breakfast?
Some toast and jelly, coffee, and scrambled eggs.
Okay, so do you know about how much jelly you're putting on your toast?
2 tablespoons, maybe.
Okay, and what kind of toast and how many slices are you eating?
2 slices of white bread.
Okay, and about how many eggs?
2.
Okay, great. So what about lunch?
I like to go to Subway and I get a sandwich, chips, and a Diet Coke.
Great. So what kind of Subway sandwich and what size are you getting?
My favorite's the 6-inch and the Italian meatball. I almost always get it.
Okay, great. So what kind of chips do you normally get and how much?
The sour cream and onion Doritos, and I just get the bag they sell there at Subway.
Okay. And how much diet soda are you drinking?
A large.
Okay. So what about dinner?
I typically cook pasta or rice and then vegetables and some meat. I go out to eat like 3 to 4 times a week though.
Okay. What kind of meat are you normally eating with that?
Chicken.
Okay. And about how much rice or pasta?
I have no idea. I just kind of dump it in there and pour out any extra water. It's
Oh,
really
okay.
bad.
That's okay. Can you guesstimate about how much space it takes up on the plate?
Maybe a fourth to a half of the plate.
Okay, that works. About how much vegetables are you eating?
I get about half a bag of whatever frozen ones I buy.
Okay. And so where do you typically go out to eat?
I like Chili's if I want to go treat myself, but typically Taco Bell or Tzatziki's.
Okay, and what do you order from those places?
From Chili's, I always get a burger and fries. From Taco Bell, I get 3 soft chicken tacos and a cheese roll-up. Tzatziki's is my healthy option. It's my healthy going out to eat place, and I get a salmon salad there.
Okay, it's very nice. And do you normally eat all your food when you go out to eat, or how much are you normally eating from what you order?
I normally have a little left to take home as leftovers. I try to make it stretch.
Okay, great. Yeah, when you go out to eat, they normally are giving you 3 to 4 times the portion size that you need to be eating. And so making those meals stretch is really great, and it's going to be a really good skill to help you with your diabetes.
I need to do that at Mexican restaurants too.
Don't we all? Okay, so do you mind just me kind of going over what I've found so far in this appointment and just kind of discussing what's going on with you? Is that okay with you today?
Sure.
Okay, great. Well, I know you were previously diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and when you came back, the doctor ran some labs and found out that you actually are a type 1 diabetic. And so this now changes a few things for you. First, it's going to mean that you're going to be insulin dependent. So you're going to have to take that daily and before each meal. And as your dietitian, I'm going to help you learn when to take your insulin and how to take it and all of those things. I also want to teach you about how to count carbohydrates. This is going to be very important in regulating your blood sugar, getting your A1C where it needs to be, and helping you from all future complications that diabetes can present. Lastly, I just want to encourage you and assure you that you can do this. All this may seem a bit overwhelming and at first just kind of scary, but your doctors and I and your healthcare team are really just going to help you every step of the way. And, you, like I said, you can do this. So did you have any questions for me?
You mentioned A1C. What is that?
A1C is a snapshot of your blood glucose over like 3 months. So our cells turn over like every 4 weeks to a month, and so that gives us a pretty good snapshot. You should be in a range under about 6.5. Diabetics are typically over that. Your A1C was 12.5%, so that's pretty high. And so our goal with our insulin and our glucose monitoring is to get that number down.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I know what I've been eating is probably not the best. I'm kind of worried about how to count carbs. I don't know how to do that at all.
Okay. Well, let me just give you a quick overview of what carbohydrates are. And so if you look at this food label that I have here, you can see where the carbs are on the nutrition facts. And so this is going to be really important for you to start really like looking at these nutrition facts. And so you see the total carbohydrates, and indented under that is the total dietary fiber and the total sugar. So these numbers are already calculated in this carbohydrate number. So this is really the only one that you need to pay attention to. Now, to avoid spikes in blood sugar, you may want to look for the added sugar. Typically you want less of the added sugar and more of the dietary fiber, but that is something that we will kind of cover more on a different topic. It kind of goes down a different rabbit trail. But 1 serving of carbohydrates is actually 15 grams. So this product is 2 grams or 2 servings of carbohydrates.
But
so
the serving size is only 1 for 1 cup, and isn't this the serving size?
Right. We're not paying attention to this part right now. So this is the serving size, 1 cup. So in 1 cup, there's 2 servings of carbohydrates.
Okay.
Yes.
It's serving of carbs and not.
Yeah, you gotta pay
food.
attention to, you do pay attention to the serving size, but next you have to figure out from this number how many servings of carb are in the product. And so I have here for you a book, and it's the carbohydrate exchange list. And so this tells you 1 small apple is gonna be 15 grams of carbohydrates. And so for you, we're gonna have you eating about 60 grams of carbohydrates a meal. And so what you would do is go on this list and say, okay, I want an apple, a glass of milk, and a yogurt, 2/3 cup of yogurt. That would be your 60 grams. Wait, 3 times 15.
That's 45.
45, so you'd get 1 more.
Okay.
You want an orange too. So that could be your breakfast, but that's all you're gonna get.
So why am I having that many carbs per meal? Like per meal, you said?
Yes, so the main thing is to keep your carbohydrates consistent.
Okay.
And so for you, you're at a pretty good weight. We're not gonna really wanna drop your weight too much. We're just gonna wanna keep you consistent. So we're gonna put you at 60 grams of carb, and you're gonna wanna eat that every meal because that's gonna depend on how much insulin that you're gonna take, and it also keeps your blood sugar from spiking because we want your blood sugar to be like this instead of like this. Okay, so you have that. Does that make better sense for you?
Yeah, question about how much rice is 15 carbs?
So rice actually
Quinoa.
wasn't on this.
Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, right here, 1/3
Third
cup.
cup.
Yeah.
So
So
could I
rice
just have-
and pasta is 1/3 cup too.
Okay.
So those are things that you're really gonna want to measure because a lot of people will eyeball that and think they're eating less than what they actually are, and those carbs, that carb number goes way up, even just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. So does that help clear some things up for you?
Yeah, this actually helps a ton. Thank you.
Great. Well, we can definitely cover more later. But let's go ahead and talk about some goals before I see you next, and what you think you can do better. So, what are some things you think you can improve on and do better before I see you next?
I really want to cook more at home. I think eating out so many times, I think I eat worse when I'm out.
Yeah. So it looks like you're typically eating out 3 to 4 times a week right now. Do you think you could maybe cut that down to 1 time a week?
I definitely think I can do that. I'm actually kind of excited to cook at home, and I think it'll be easier to keep track of my carbs that way and save money.
Exactly. Well, I completely agree. It's always easier to control your portions when you're at home. And so what do you think is going to be the hardest thing when trying to stick to this goal?
Probably when I'm feeling tired and don't want to cook.
Yes, I completely agree. But I definitely know that you can stick to it. And a good thing to do is meal prep. And so you can pick 1 or 2 days out of the week to cook your protein and cook your rice or your pasta. And then the veggies you can just throw in the microwave when you're ready. And that way you're not doing a whole lot of cooking and your meals are kind of already there.
That's a good idea. I think I'll try that.
Awesome. Well, okay, Armando. Well, I think we've made great progress with today's meeting. And I'm just really excited to see your progress and you dominate this new lifestyle. So I really think you'll just be just fine through all of this.
I think I will too. I feel a lot better after talking to you.
Awesome. Well, great. We'll see you back in a couple of weeks. You take care.
Thank you.
Awesome.